thought I'd take some time out from recording my new album, My Message in a Waveform, to just give a brief studio tour, because a lot of you have requested that I just show you how and what I make my music with. So first off, I'll start with the vibraphone. This is a Yamaha YV1600A. Vibraphones have a motor which vibrates fans underneath each of the keys, and that creates a tremolo effect for the metal bars. I use Mike Bolter 22R rattan sticks. They have a certain give to the stick, which enables you to mute individual notes within chords. A vibraphone, unlike a xylophone or a marimba or a glockenspiel, has a sustain pedal as well. And because I'm a classically trained pianist, this sort of fits. It was quite easy to adapt a piano way of composing and playing to a percussion instrument. Okay, so next is my string section. I've got a Palatino electric upright bass. I've got a cello, and I also have a very nice viola as well. This is a Schecter 8-string guitar. 8 strings have a standard 6-string tuning, plus on the bottom end they've got a low B and normally a low F sharp, except I've down-tuned this a tone down to an E, giving you the same pitch as a bass guitar. And now for my woodwind and brass section. I've got a Yamaha flute, a clarinet, a trumpet, and a Selmer soprano saxophone. With my clarinet and saxophone I use Rico reeds. With my Selmer saxophone I use Rico 2 jazz reeds, which, because of the flexibility, make it more suited to a more jazz setting. You're able to get better sort of multiphonics with these number 2 jazz reeds, I found. This is my drum kit. Pearl drums. I've got a 10-inch, 12-inch, 13, 14 and 16-inch toms, 22-inch kick. As for the snare drums, I employ quite a lot of... I have 3 snare drums because of the different genres I play, and they all need different frequencies of drums, really, to interact with the frequencies that involved in all those different types of music. In terms of my main snare drum, it's a 14-inch, and I normally use it for it's good for rock and jazz. I've got a 10-inch firecracker, which is very good for electronica music because of its high pitch, and I've got a low 14 by 6.5-inch snare, which is tuned quite low and is normally used for more drum and bass or dubstep sections. It's a left and right-handed setup, which enables not only some interesting rhythms, but also sort of stereo effects with the microphones as well. In terms of cymbals, mostly Zildjian, I employ quite a lot of different timbral elements. I've got a 14-inch trash former, which creates a nice trashy, glassy crash effect, as well as some regular traditional 16 and 18-inch crashes. Got a selection of splashes, as well as I like glassy elements, much like the trash former. I've got an 11-inch oriental splash as well, which creates that glassy tone as well. So I've got a high and low end glassy effect. I normally have pairs of cymbals, mostly on stereo for left-hand, right-handed sort of playing. Much in the same way, I've got 2 stereo accent cymbals, paiste accent cymbals, a 6 on my left and an 8-inch on my right. Some bells on my left as well, and some 6 and 8-inch mini cymbals by LP, which create a very nice sort of treble sheen on top of sort of the low end of all these toms. You've got a nice treble tom sort of sound with these. Now some people were wondering what this is. This is a Zildjian trash hat. It's a 10-inch heavy hi-hat top and a 12-inch china for the bottom, and it creates a nice short, sharp attack which can act as accents. You normally have this just mounted in an X hat. I've got it mounted with a remote hi-hat because the sound of this trash hat, sort of the open sound, is very nice as well actually, and as well as the accents with it closed and syncopated with your bass drum, you can actually get quite a nice sharper, more cutting accents if you do sort of open and closed hi-hats with this as well. I'll show you my pedal setup. I've got, like I said before, sort of left and right-handed setup. I've got a double pedal and a on my right I've got the trash hats controlled, and on my left I've got the regular hi-hats, and this sort of left and right-handed setup enables you to play lots of different syncopated hi-hat rhythms whilst maintaining beats with your left or right foot as well. Now my analog synth section, I use a Mopho X4 by Dave Smith and a Moog Little Phatty. Moog Little Phatty is very good for, I use it for bass tones, and it's got very good lead synth sounds as well. The Mopho X4 is very good for soundscapes. It's got an LFO, which creates a lot of movement within a sound, and because of its polyphony, it's got 4 notes as well. You can create a lot of pads. It's very good for sort of ostinato patterns as well that you found overlaid in many electronica music, which I use this for. In terms of my guitar section, the main one here that I use is a 6-string Ibanez bass. It's like a regular bass, basically the 4 middle strings, E, A, D, G, plus a lower B and a higher C. Now for the main reason why people wanted to see my studio is about how I make my loop videos. Well, the output of all my mics, my synths, as well as my drum mics, my condenser mics and my kick mics, as well as the guitar, which goes into this GT8 Boss effects pedal. The output of all that goes into my mixer, which then in turn goes into the Boss RC50, which is a loop station. It has 3 phrases, which is how I'm able to independently control those different loops within a song. The output of this is actually outputted into a Korg Chaos pad, which enabled me to apply effects onto the song that I've made, basically. And the effects that I normally use are, apart from the low pass filters, I use quite a lot of glitch effects, much in the same vein as electronica artists like Square Pusher or Venetian Snares use, to create a sort of electronica aspect to normally what is a normal jazz song, basically, and I can create sort of loops using the Chaos pad as well, and sort of mash it up and remix the song that I've already made. And last but certainly not least is the piano, which is my main instrument and where I do the majority of my composition, or at least the majority of my improvisation, which leads to normally some nuggets that I can apply to one of the many instruments that I've just showed you. Well, thanks very much for listening, and thank you very much for watching all my videos as well. Stay tuned, I've got a follow-up to my my debut album, Scale of a Bang Page, called My Message in a Waveform, which is coming out later this year, which I'm currently in the studio writing and recording. So Thank you very much. If you have any questions, then please leave them down in the comment section, and I will endeavour to answer them in the video. If you want any lessons and stuff like that about how I played certain parts, or any more information about my equipment, then please, like I said, leave it in the aforementioned comment box. Cheers.